Now I will request Mr. Sriram, our Secretary of Cosma, to introduce Mr. Sandeep and Mr. Saheta, please. Mr. Sriram.
Thank you. Thank you, Anand sir. Just I will take a brief. This is our, I think, 12th Cosma meeting of the Cosma webinar. And it has, we started with a, you can say with a 7 to 9 members. Now we are reaching more than 60 members. That is a great success so far. And we are trying to, enhance our webinar one step ahead always. We have tried our efforts hard. So in accordance with the same, today we are very lucky to have Connectwell team with us, Mr. Vijay Saheta sir, Mr. Sandeep sir, and the complete team. So first of all, I welcome you all, and विजय सर के बारे में मैं क्या बात कर सकता हूँ और क्या इंट्रोडक्शन की उनको जरूरत ही नहीं है। एक उनके बारे में बोलना मतलब एक जुगनू को कोई बोलेगा सूरज के बारे में बोलो तो क्या बोलेगा वो, लेकिन एक ही चीज बोलूंगा कि ये सूरज है जो रोशनी भी देता है लेकिन किसको तप्त नहीं करता। ये he is so connected well to all of us that हमें लगता है कि हमारे टीम कॉस्मो टीम के एक बड़े भाई साहब भी है। तो आई हैव नॉट मेट एनी रतन टाटा एनी टाइम, बट अगर मैं विजय सहायता को मिलता हूँ तो मुझे मालूम पड़ता है कि उनकी क्या क्वालिटी रहेगी। बीइंग सच अ पोजीशन एंड स्टिल बीइंग डाउन टू अर्थ टू दिस लेवल एंड कनेक्टिंग इंडिविजुअली, इट्स अ ग्रेट थिंग। सो हेड्स ऑफ टू विजय सहायता सर एंड थैंक यू विजय सर, आपने हमको मौका दिया है इस बार। कमिंग टू संदीप सर, संदीप सायता सर is a director sales of marketing Connectwell Industries. He has a bachelor degree in industrial production engineering from Mumbai University and MBA in international business from George Washington University, USA. He has a wide experience in sales and marketing of industrial connectivity solutions. He is currently heading sales and marketing division of Connectwell Industries Private Limited. Connectwell is a market leader in the field of DIN rail terminal blocks, not over in India, but it has got significant place in the world. It is exporting more than 60 countries. And one thing just I want to add with it, in this, even the lockdown period, Connectwell has exported to China a complete container load of connectors. So big salute to team Connectwell. Connectwell has owned subsidiaries in China, Brazil, and UAE as well. Sandeep is the dynamic driving force or second generation hero of Connectwell, and under his leadership, Connectwell is able to achieve new and new heights. So I will not take much more time. I will hand over to Mr. Sandeep sir for his presentation. So over to Sandeep sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Sriramji. Thank you so much for those that glorious introduction, and then you are spot on about my father. Yeah, as second generation, we've just been given the opportunity to carry forward the good work that he has started. So I have to say thanks to Dad also, so that he allows us to carry forward what he started. Yeah. So let's get into today's presentation. Let me just share my screen. Just give me a minute. Actually, Vishalji, you'll have to make me a co-host so that we can I can share my screen.
Acha, Sandeep, have you given any message to Vishal about that recording?
Yes, I have already reversed my thing, so he can record today's presentation.
Okay, we shall continue with recording.
But Vishalji, first, please make me the co-host so that I can present. Right now I'm disabled. Vishalji, your voice is not audible unless others can hear him.
No, we can't.
Vishal,
I
unmute yourself, please.
Vishal, I cannot present my screen. You will have to make me the co-host.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now yes.
Yes.
Okay. Just a moment. I'll just do that. Okay.
Okay, perfect. Now I'm the host. So thank you so much, Vishalji.
Welcome.
Just give me a minute. Let me start by this one. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Sandeep, will you be sharing your PPT?
I would love to do that. It's a very heavy file. That's the only, because there are videos integrated into it. So it's a 600 MB file. I don't mind sharing it. It's just that it'll be too heavy. So minus the videos, the skeleton, I'll be more than happy to share. And then if you need any particular video, you could contact us and we'll be happy to share.
We have
definitely, because
we have a Google Drive. You could just upload it onto the Google Drive.
No problem. We could do that at the end of the presentation. Sure. I'll discuss it with Mr. Vishal and then upload it over there. No problem.
Sure.
Okay. So welcome everyone. Good morning and a very warm welcome from Connectwell. And thank you for giving us the opportunity to talk about our challenges. I'll put it this way as to what challenges we face as a connector manufacturer. And specifically, we've kept the title of today's presentation as Best Practices for Make-to-Stock Product Companies. Now, a few disclaimers before we get into this presentation. We are trying to share what works for us or what has worked for us. So we want to share these stories, these concepts with all of you. Now, I do understand we have a mixed crowd today. A lot of you are, much bigger capital goods manufacturers. Probably a make-to-stock philosophy may or may not work for you. But we've tried to share our challenges. Maybe there's something really nice that you can pick up from this, and we'll be more than happy to discuss further with you if you need any further clarifications or help on this one. So just a little bit about ourselves, and Sriramji has already given a very glorious introduction to both my father and me. I would just like to introduce also Mr. Ishwar Chemte. He's our VP Operations. He has more than 23 years of industrial systems experience, and he's going to be also doing a part of the presentation today. So Ishwar is already there in this Zoom call, and in between he will come in and be presenting some slides. Okay. So moving on, this is the broad level agenda for today. So we'll do a very quick Connectwell introduction. I know a lot of you have already participated with us on these presentations on our webinars as well. So you might have seen this. This might be a repeat, but overall, we'll just like to talk a little bit about Connectwell and then get into the topic of make to stock versus make to order. Yeah. Just give me a minute. Let me see if I can mute all of you. So if everybody doesn't mind, can you all mute your screen? So this way there will be no disturbance. So thank you so much for doing that. And then we get into the challenges of mass manufacturing. So essentially, what challenges Connectwell gets into having to manufacture at a completely high volume level. Yeah? So to give all of you an idea, every day we produce close to 4 lakh terminal blocks. And all of you have used terminal blocks. These are small, tiny parts. So 4 lakh terminal blocks does mean around 8 lakh screws, 8 lakh clamps, so on and so forth. So the volumes are pretty high. And so these pose a very unique challenge to us. And then a similar way, we have created some solutions which are unique to us and that we'll share with you. And also, I will get into a very very fleeting way about the challenges of selling, and I will focus a little bit more about selling in the international markets because probably that could be a challenge for a lot of you present here, and it continues to be a challenge for us also. And finally, after this, but before the Q&A, I think Vishalji has posed some questions to my dad. He would also answer some questions there. And of course, we'll have an open forum on the Q&A. So in terms of the evolution of the company, we are a 4-decade-old company. We have grown step by step. We've taken a good 40 years to reach the place where we are today. We are positioned to keep growing and to get into the next decade. We started off the next decade, the decade of 2020 to 2029 in a very with a big bang with the whole COVID pandemic. But we are stable. We are poised to overcome these challenges and get going further. So these are just some landmark points in our history. We've been, as I said, gradually growing. We have introduced different products gradually, including product lines like spring clamp terminal blocks, interfacing modules, implemented a lot of infrastructure level projects within the company. And I'll skip this part only because we've kind of discussed this many a times with all of you. But just to talk about 2019, we inaugurated our B4 automated logistics center. We crossed nearly 175 crores in sales turnover. So this is a very short video on Connectwell. We'll start off with this.
Sandeep sir, there's no audio along with the video.
Yeah.
There is no audio along with the video.
Right.
Audio is not reaching. Oh, it's okay, sir. Thank you.
So I believe the audio was not shared, the computer audio. I got to it only at the later part of the video. So this video is also there on our YouTube channel, also on our LinkedIn page. So if at all, then you can please, if you feel it's a good video, do like it over there. Getting into where all we sell, and then of course these are broad level sectors where we are present. So be it process automation, energy, process, transportation, building infrastructure. So the products do find a very varied use. We are present in a lot of systems. It's a basic necessity for any sort of automation, power sector, engineered products, and then hence our types of customers are varied. Yeah? So we have really a vast range of industry segments that we cater to. So from power energy to control automation to process industries, machinery and electromechanical equipment builders. We also are present in the building infrastructure area, and of course railways also. We do cater to a lot of industries, leading industry people. So for example, in the power area, we do supply to Siemens, ABB, Schneider, Larsen and Toubro. Process areas, Emerson, Rockwell Automation, Honeywell, Yokogawa, a lot of machine builders, and also of course the rail transportation area. We are present in India in a very wide network, I should say. So we have over 140 dealers now, so that we can service our customers, be close to you. We do have 7 regional centers in all over India. So right from Delhi, Ahmedabad, Pune, all the major cities, Bangalore, Chennai, Calcutta, Hyderabad, Coimbatore, and then of course with our distribution network. Sriramji just touched upon this. We do supply to more than 60 countries now. We have our fully owned subsidiary companies in China and Brazil, in the United Arab Emirates as well. Regarding products, we'll not get into it much, but just at a broad level, we are industry leaders in the segment of DIN rail terminal blocks. We also have a huge line of interfacing modules that you can choose from, and of course, switching mode power supplies. So let's get into today's topic. Ishwar, if you can unmute and acknowledge that you see the slide.
Yeah, Sandeep, I can see the slide.
So
yeah.
All over to you. And I don't know, does everyone see the red mark on the screen? Also like a sketchpen mark?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so I need to, Dheeraj, any idea how to take it out?
Yeah, sir, you actually need to go to your viewing options, and then you need to disable participant iNotes, yes.
Yeah, I did that, but how do I get this red mark out again? Should I stop sharing and then share again?
Yeah, sir, you have to stop share, then share. It will disappear.
Okay,
yeah.
So everyone please excuse me, I'll just stop sharing and then reshare my screen so that these red marks, it's a Zoom thing. We see it all the time. So just give me a minute, okay? Okay, Ishwar, you can see it. Now the red marks are gone. Over to you. Let me know when you want me to proceed further.
Yeah, Sandeep, thank you. Good morning, everyone. This is like as Sandeep explained. So we are into manufacturing of terminal blocks, and we are manufacturing around 4 lakh terminals per month. So how we handle it per day, like 4 lakh terminals per day. So to handle it, we are following the MTS methodology. So for MTS methodology, these mainly 4 steps we are following. So raw material planning, manufacturing, then safety stock, and delivery to customer. So if you see like the 4 lakh terminals means as explained by Sandeep. So there we have to arrange like 8 lakh screws, 8 lakh clamping yokes, the raw material required for the clamping yoke like steel, copper, and the plastic material like polymer 66 required for that material. So for raw material planning, we are using the planning methodology that I will explain in next slides. So here if you see the made to stock, generally it flows. We use the customer forecast, as well as we have our internal analysis of sales trend. On that basis, we decide the safety stock to be kept item wise, and that we review every month for any variations in that. So after having the sales trend analysis, we decide the safety, and on that safety or the stock basis, we decide our productions. And that production goes into the finished good inventory, and we deliver to the customer from that stock. So that stock levels varies on the basis of items. So obviously it is ABCD classification. So it's high volume, medium volume, and low volume. The advantages of this made to stock methodology that we can have our smooth production without any hiccups of the suddenly increase orders. So it when we keep the safety stock, we get some time to absorb the shock of sudden demands. It is a made to stock. When we get the order, we can deliver to the customer within a short time. Then it helps us to smoothen out the utilization of our resources, and hence the increased productivity of our resources. Maybe the resources includes labor, electricity, so all whatever required to make the production. Then it gives the increased flexibility. So if you take the example, like we have injection molding, we have molds around like 800 to 900 molds in the injection molding, and we have machines, 27 machines. So if we have to run product at a time, so we can run 27 products. So when we have the MTS methodology, so it can give us the flexibility for changing the molds, and same time we are delivering to the customer different variety of the products. Then less capex, as I mentioned, because like if we have to manufacture as per the customer orders only, when we get the orders, if the order demand varies, then we have to go for the additional machines for some period, and for some period that capex will get underutilized. So here, if you go to the MTS methodology, the capex investment in the machinery will be less. Yes, the disadvantage is there. We have to carry the inventory, and we have to we have an additional expense of inventory carrying cost. Sandeep, please go to the next slide.
Yes. 1 second. Ishwar, it's frozen for some reason. Just okay, got it. 1 minute.
Yeah. Yes, I got it. Okay, against MTS, MTO methodology, it is very straight and simple. Once you get the order, you produce it and deliver to the customer. But as you are also our customer, in today's world, no customer will wait for such a longer lead time, because we have to arrange the nylon RM or steel material, imported material. It takes around 2 months to 3 months to deliver to our factory. So yes, MTO. Yes, so yes, MTO will be beneficial to the business. It will have a less inventory carrying cost, but there will be the disadvantages of sudden increase or decrease in the production. You will not be able to plan the resources in better manner. There will be higher lead times to deliver to the customer. There will be no gap, like no adjustments to handle the sudden abnormalities of the customer. Then there will be, as I discussed, like less utilization of the resources for some time when we didn't get the orders from the customer. And as I explained, like if orders suddenly get increased, then there may be the higher capex requirements. Sandeep, can you please go to the next slide?
Yes, Ishwar. Yeah.
So yes, there are challenges in the mass manufacturing, which we have also identified, and we have we are working on the solutions, and we have already worked on the solutions to how to handle these challenges. So yes, in mass manufacturing, as I said, like we are handling the lot of variety of the products. So we have high variety with high volume products, then high variety with low volume products. Then there is a lack of flexibility. Always in mass manufacturing, there is a lack of flexibility. Then there is an increase in inventory. Then there is a, as like in mass manufacturing, most of the companies or like Connectwell also using the SPM, special purpose machine, product specific machines. So there is a risk of outage of the machines. Then as like it's mass manufacturing, so repeatability and reproducibility is very, very important. So generally we go into the high-end automation. So there will be the high initial expenses, capex requirements. And then yes, to run the SPMs or high-end machines, the staffing and training is very, very important. So we need to engage our people, and we need to keep the motivated our workforce should be motivated. And yes, the mass manufacturing enterprise has to always keep watch on the evolving technology that we do. So this is the model which we follow in Connectwell. So generally we have a strategic planning. Yeah, just go back, Sandeep, please. Yeah. So generally we have a strategic planning every year for the next 3 to 5 years, like what is our plan, where we are heading, and what we want to achieve in next 3 to 5 years. So on the basis of the strategic planning, we do the policy deployment so that every individual should get aligned to the strategic goals or strategic planning of the company. Then that policy deployment will go to the performance management. So every individual will have their PMS sheets. So they will be very clear what every individual has to deliver during the stipulated time. So this there is a performance management, there is a review mechanism, and out of review mechanism we are following the continuous improvement methodology, so that like in every review we will generally observe the abnormalities. Abnormalities means we are not able to achieve the goals. So why we are not able to achieve the goals? We try to identify the root causes, and we generally take the actions to eliminate that root causes. So this model we follow in Connectwell. Sandeep, just go to the next slide, please.
Sure.
So as I explained the challenges which we are facing, so to have this, get the solutions for these challenges, we have these facilities, and we are to support these facilities, we are following some practices in planning as well as business excellence and QA and QC. So I will go through like every in detail. So first and foremost thing, for the company like us, the NPD, like new product development, is very, very important area, because if you see the current competition and current trend, so every day new product comes into the market, and to compete it, we should have in-house NPD capabilities. Then only we can cope up with the market. So we have in-house NPD capabilities, which with the new product development phase gate reviews, from the like idea generation through concept through prototyping, through actual productionization. So we have clear-cut process, we have clear-cut gate review mechanism, so that for each gate we can identify the things gone right, things gone wrong, and we can able to act on that within time. Then for product life cycle management, we are using the PLM software. And for the product manufacturing, particularly for injection molding, we are using the mold flow analysis, so that beforehand we will get the problems and we will correct that, and we will go for the productionization. Then we have state-of-the-art tool room with having advanced CNC, VMC, wire cut facilities, as well as the testing facilities like CMM, profile projector, rapid eye testing, which we are using. And these two things, like NPD capabilities and tool room, this gives us the confidence on our NPD, on our shortest lead time to go to market in the case of NPDs, as well as supporting to our manufacturing facilities wherever we have tooling related problems. Then after like tool manufacturing, we have like high-speed manufacturing lines. It includes injection molding. Our injection molding is fully automatic plant, from the raw material till the output of the injection molding. I will explain you in the video of this particular lines. Then we have high-speed press machines, mainly from the Biller or YSM. So we are using this IDA presses. Then we have high-speed assembly SPM machines, as I said, like for high volume products. So we are using the fully automatic assembly machine, which are giving good outputs, like almost 70 to 80,000 pieces per day we are producing for the high volume parts. Then automation in logistic. Okay, sorry, I missed one point. We have like some parts with low and medium volume also. So for that, we are using the low cost automation. So we have inbuilt automation, automatic machine building facility also, So we are using that facility to manufacture the low cost automations, maybe for the tapping operation or maybe for the assembly operations. Then like some of you must be knowing, like we are using the automated automation in logistic also. So we have warehouse management software, and we are using the fully automatic warehouse. So in next slides, we will go through the videos of some of these facilities. Sandeep, please go to the next slide.
So on the, and as Ishwar explained, so on the tool manufacturing itself, it's, and again, there is no video, audio on this, so I'll be just speaking over the video that you see. So the precision of making molds and sheet metal tools is important. We have made to the least count, so we make basically to the accuracy of 5 microns in our tool room. And as Ishwar mentioned, it is very important, and especially softwares like Moldflow, it is very important to have a fully equipped tool room to support not only new product development, but also the constant wear and tear of the manufacturing lines. Yeah, so there are a lot of breakages, and the tool room comes in very handy to support your online manufacturing processes. Had we not have a tooling facility, it would put us at a severe disadvantage. Yeah, so that was about our tool room. So as Ishwar had mentioned, we do have advanced CNC vertical machining centers, wire cuts, EDMs, and again, it is not just important to have good and high precision machines, but you also need to have high precision testing and measurement equipment. We recently purchased a very nice Zeiss system for 3D measurements, and then again, this gives us the, so again, you can have a very high precision equipment, make parts at really high micron accuracies, but you also need to have measuring instruments to measure that high precision produced parts. So it goes hand in hand. This is an overview on the injection molding plant, Ishwar.
Yeah. Okay, so this is the video of the injection molding plant. So this is the overview. As I said, like this plant is fully automatic. So if you see the pipes on the wall, so we are supplying raw material to the machines also with automation. And we have these machines ranging tonnage from 50 ton to 150 ton. These machines are fully automatic. We can get the process parameter data from these machines to identify the root causes of the defects. On these machines, we are running molds from as minimum as at the with 6 to 7 second cycle time. And the molds are having from we have latest molds with our 8 cavity molds for our high running product. So as I mentioned earlier, as we have in-house capability of tool manufacturing, so we can think in that direction. And this mold flow analysis tool room capabilities supports us for the manufacturing. So for high volume products now we.
So just to add to what Ishwar was saying, so just imagine, so a lot of you have used our CTS 4UN, the bread and butter product that pretty much goes into every cabinet. A CTS 4UN is an 8 cavity mold, so 8 4UN plastic shells fall down with a cycle time of 7 seconds. So every 7 seconds we produce 8 plastic housings of the CTS 4UN product. So this kind of gives you how we add up to this volume. And please also keep in mind that this has to be a non-stop continuous process. Any sort of stoppage that we get severely disadvantages us. As a matter of fact, and we didn't cover it here in our presentation, almost half of our injection molding shop, that is, so we have nearly 26 machines, nearly 13 of those machines are actually connected to a UPS system. So because we can't allow even a single microsecond of stoppage, and knowing power quality levels, we are in Dombivli. It's not the best, nice, I mean, it's connected very well, but power quality is always a topic. So we have actually connected half of our mold shop to a UPS system. It's a huge battery bank, just so that if we have a power outage, the machines don't stop. Yeah, and also these are all CNC machines, so they need good, clean, quality power. So Ishwar, again.
Yeah. So this video is related to our automatic assembly machines. So as I said, like as Sandeep explained, so this machine is for CTS 4UN only. So here on this machine, the all parts are going into the machine automatically and it get assembled automatically. It is literally a manless machine. So here the person's job is only to feed the parts into the ball feeder. So machine takes that parts and assemble part in minimum time. So here on this machine, we are producing around 70 to 75,000 parts per day. And also on this machine, we are doing the tray packaging also. Like if you observe, like CTS 4UN comes into the tray packaging and then the outer box. So here we are packing that product on the machine itself in the trays. So here this is the tray packing where the product goes into the trays automatically, and then person only takes that trays and put it in the outer box. So such type of machine we have sourced internationally from the like international market as well as from Indian market also. And as I explained, now we have our internal SPM building capability also. So there we are for now we are going for the like small machines for now, but in some days we will have our own fully automatic SPMs also.
Yeah. So we move on to the next bit. So again, just to give you an estimate on volume, in one day alone, we can produce 70 to 75,000 OUNs. Yeah. So again, anytime we get these peaks or surges or sudden demands, we are able to absorb those shocks, and our processes can then take care of it. To give a general idea, and again, I'm using the example of 4UN because this is the most widely used terminal block in all your control cabinets. In a year, we produce close to 1 crore 80 lakh 4UNs. Yeah, so that's the volume that we produce. And but one more thing that Ishwar, we must mention, the automatic lines have built-in inspection and testing as well. So every single product is inspected and tested. There is a rejection bin also. So if the parameter is not met, the machine automatically rejects it. So every single terminal block that you're getting is 100% inspected. In fact, after the box is made, we don't even do any quality inspection. Yeah, we just put the label and we ship it to you. That's how highly, of course, we do some visual inspections, sporadic, even after doing the automatic lines, but that is to be making double sure. Yeah. But this is the level of quality system that we have incorporated within the automatic line itself. So we move on to the next one.
So this video is related to our press machines. So we have a high-speed press machine. The speed of this machine is around 450 parts per minute. So you will see here the spring manufacturing. So we are manufacturing springs as well as clamping yoke. So a majority of our sheet metal products we are manufacturing in-house. So we have such kind of machine. Again, that as Sandeep explained for the automatic SPM machines, these machines are also coming up. These machines are also coming up with all the pokayokes or the mistake proofing, so that all defects can be identified on the machine itself. It will not get mixed with the good products.
Yeah. So just to add to what Ishwar said, the Beeler machine that you saw, it's a high precision, high performance machine from Germany. This is mainly used a lot in the switchgear industry. So all your circuit breakers or ACBs, MCBs parts for that is typically manufactured on such kind of Beeler presses. And this goes on in, I mean, these are needless to say very expensive systems, but somewhere down the line, my dad would explain as to and one of the questions asked to him was, the reasons for our success. These equipments and are classic cases of how having good equipment helps us build good products. And by the way, we bought our first Beeler back in 2006. I think our total company turnover back then, and I forget the right number, but it was somewhere close to 40 crores. The equipment itself cost us 6 crores. So to make an investment of this level, when you're, it was a pretty high investment. Today we have 3 Beeler machines inside our plant, but it just goes to give customers reassurance that every single part going into the connector is of high precision, high quality. Yeah. So we go on further. I think, Ishwar, yeah, that was the summation.
Yeah, that is this is the summation what we discussed in the videos.
Okay,
You can
I'll go on further. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
this video is related to our automation in logistic. So you must have seen the videos of Walmart or the Flipkart or Amazon of the fully automatic warehouse. So we are following that methodology. Like when we receive the material in our plant, so we keep that material into our warehouse, and this is fully automatic warehouse. So here, if you say we have multi-story building kind of thing warehouse, so it is a 3-level warehouse where we are storing all our FG parts as well as our raw material parts. So once material gets into the company, we put the barcode on that particular product, and because like every product is barcoded, so hence there is no chance of mistakes, manual mistakes. So we use the scanning methodology and the warehouse. Yeah, we use the scanning as well as the warehouse management system. So when we get the product, we put the barcode, then that product goes into the plastic bins, then these bins goes into the warehouse, which is fully automatic warehouse. So when we require the product, we generally generate the delivery challan for that product in the system. That system gives automatic command to this ASRS system, and once the operator enters the order on the computer, that product comes out automatically. After that, operator gets that product. Now here, like operator gets that product, he scans as per the customer order, he puts that into the cartons. So after scanning, he puts into the cartons, and that cartons get packed. And after packing the carton, on every carton, we used to put the barcode as well as the item description. So this generally this gets followed into the big giants like Flipkart, Amazon, such kind of companies. This facility we are following, and the beauty of this system, it's a errorless system, first thing. So it is no chance to go to the wrong product to the customer. First thing. Second thing, the accuracy. And third thing is the human dependency or manual dependency. So that's things gets avoided because of this system.
Yeah. So just to add to what Ishwar said, this automated warehouse went live in February of 2019. It is fully integrated into our ERP system. So the system, the WMS or the warehouse management software, talks to our SAP ERP software. So it's a fully integrated system. We are the only company in India to have this kind of a mini load automated warehousing system. Typically, the other automated warehouses that you see are usually for pallet loads within the country. So I know for a fact Polycab has one, and in a lot of other big industries, they do have these things. But for small parts, for small bins, for parts which are stored in bins, this is the only system existing as of today in India, and we hope for more such systems to come across all over the country as well. But this has as issue to do errorless shipping to our customers. We by and large, it's an automated packing list, automated invoice that comes once the parts are scanned in, gives us complete control over batch management. Every box that is shipped to a customer has a unique barcode with a batch number below it. If there are any problems, all that the customer has to do is report the batch number. We can trace back to the day that we got the screw for that product and which batch that screw came in. So we have full traceability. The system also allows us to do complete FIFO methodology. So first in, first out. So that means our parts, whatever are coming to you, are coming with a FIFO methodology as well. So, yeah. Ishwar.
Okay, so till now we have explained our technical capabilities, you can say like manufacturing capabilities. But yes, to have a success on these manufacturing capabilities, the supporting activities are very, very important. So as I mentioned earlier also, as we are following the MTS methodology. So for that MTS methodology, the planning is plays a very important role, so that we can get the optimum utilization of resources. Also, we will have the on-time delivery to the customer. So here in planning, as mentioned by Sandeep, we are using the high-end softwares like SAP, XSync, and WMS. Then as mentioned in my MTS slide, we are continuously doing the sales analysis, sales trend analysis for each and every product. And considering the, by doing the statistical analysis and using the standard deviations, we are defining our inventory level for each and every product. So as we are reviewing it on every month, if there are any increase or decrease, and also we are taking the inputs from our sales team for the particular product related increase or decrease, and that we are adjusting in our planning. Second thing, we follow the planning methodology of weekly planning methodology, because that gives once like this, it is kind of a review mechanism. Once you are doing the planning on weekly methodologies, the weekly shocks, whatever shocks we are getting in the form of orders, so that we can absorb and we can plan in advance for the raw material and our production. So we are following the weekly planning methodology. We are measuring the compliance against the weekly planning for each and every department, including purchase. Then after planning, we are using the quality assurance tools, which supports to the product quality as well as the process quality. So it's not only product quality, it is also process quality, because once your process are stringent, then your output will come defect free. So we have, as you must be knowing, some of you must be knowing, we have our in-house product validation and certification facility. Then all our products are approved to all majority of the international certifications that Sandeep will explain you in next slides also. Then our manufacturing QA programs like failure mode effect analysis or SPC, control chart plotting, then kappa process, these processes we are following. Then we have an organization it is in initial phase now, but we have started the process audits. So it's a quality program, process audits for the continuous improvement. So we have planned the process auditing. So out of that audit, we will get some abnormalities, or we get the opportunities for the improvement. We will have and on that basis, we will have the PDCA cycle or continuous improvement cycle. Again, in coordination with quality, so business excellence tools, which we are working on, we have just started this journey last year. So we are developing the culture of Kaizen as well as 5 years, or you can say the continuous improvement. We have initiated some of the lean manufacturing tools, to name a few, like SMED. So as I mentioned, injection molding, we have 26-27 machines. We have thousands of products. To manufacture these products, the times required to changeover time required for the mold should be very less. So previously, our changeover time used to have a 1 hour, 1.5 hour. Last year, we have achieved it to the 40 minutes. And now recently, we have gone below 20 minutes. So we are continuously working on it by using obviously by using the lean manufacturing methodologies, identify the wastage and eliminating that wastage. That is the simple lean manufacturing methods. Then cellular manufacturing, as Sandeep explained, for some of the products, we have fully automatic SPMs where the packaging also happens. But for some of the products, we cannot, CapEx is not justifiable. Being the less volume, we cannot go for the fully automation. So here we are working for the manual assemblies with cellular assemblies, so that from first operation till item goes into the box, we are using the cells. Then Kanban concept. So for consumable as well as the packaging material, as well as some of our raw material, we have started using the Kanban concept. So as for the FG products, we are following the MTS methodology, similar that is applicable to our RM products also. So for RM products, we are deciding the inventories considering the consumption trend, and once that inventory gets depleted, we raise the purchase order and we replenish that inventory. So that is what the Kanban concept is. Then we are developing, yes, I will not say like we have completed on this, but we are developing our workmanship standards as well as SOPs, so that we should have our processes to should be strong, so that we will get the good output from that processes. Then to like this, running these high-end automations, such high investment technology, the staffing and trainings of our particular staff is very, very important, as well as always keep them motivated is also very, very important. So we have rewards and recognition programs for our frontline supervisors, inspector, as well as operators. And we have like Kaizen scheme. So for the best Kaizens, this scheme is for all people till the managerial level. So for Kaizen scheme, in Kaizen scheme, we get the ideas from the people. We have a committee, Kaizen committee. So our business excellence head, tool room, finance, these like all people comprise to that committee, validate the ideas given by the people, and then they decide the awards to these people. So that this program we have just started 6 months back, and we are running it on every month basis. So these are, as I said, like these are the supporting activities which plays a big role to have such kind of manufacturing facilities defect free. Sandeep, you can take it.
Yeah, thank you, Ishwar. So at the end of the day, I know it's a very simple product. It's just a connector, but there is a whole lot that goes on behind the scenes to make it at the volume that we talk about and at the accuracy points that we talk about, so that when we sales guys, when we come in front of you, we can pretty much assure you that the product you are buying is of a very high quality standard and does what it tells that it will do. So that, and then thank you, Ishwar, for explaining it in this detail as well. Again, these are all topics within themselves. They are just, Ishwar has just pretty much brushed upon them. They are very, and then again, Ishwar has a fantastic crew with him who helps him do all of these things. Each one is a full-fledged topic within itself. I will shift gears now and also get into how to sell these make-to-stock parts. Yeah, so that's also a challenge. Let me see, my screen has frozen now. So let us see if I can go ahead. Okay. Yeah. So challenges in sales. Now, bana to liya humne 4 lakh terminal block per day, but to sell 4 lakh terminal blocks per day manufactured is again a fairly challenging, position to be in. And I'll just briefly say, what challenges we come across. In the domestic market, it's a saturated market. Unfortunately, and we are in the same boat as all of you. The market growth is not at the point which would sustain, active investments from all of us. And I believe you all have discussed in your previous webinars also. So saturation in the domestic market is a big challenge that we face. There is fierce competition from domestic players, from international players. Giants, global giants operate in India with their product lines and good product lines. Yeah, so it's a fairly challenging situation. And also, and I know Sriramji also touched upon it in the introduction, how to go about in the international arena. Yeah, the world is coming into India, and how does India go out to the world? Our Prime Minister has also pretty much highlighted local for global also. Yeah, so how do you achieve this global marketplace? To give you an idea, we've done some estimates on the terminal block market globally, and I know it's a huge forum, but the global market for terminal blocks alone is close to 12,000 crores. Yeah, that's the volume that exists in the globe. India may be around 300-400 crores. Yeah, so the world is a fairly large space. There are huge buyers in Europe, in North America, in China. But then as a homegrown, family-owned company, how do we reach that market? So let me start with giving you insights into a small solution that we brought in to address the saturation in the domestic market, and then we'll briefly touch upon how do we deal with this international topic very briefly, and then Anandji, we get back to the Q&A or your main topic for today. Yeah. So the only way that we could differentiate from our customers is by adding more value. So we do value-added services. So let us look at what is the traditional way of building terminal assemblies. You, all of you, and most of you, I should say, order terminal blocks. Yeah. So you order individual terminal blocks, and you all have ERP systems or some sort of receiving methodology where you do inspection, GR, and bring it into your stock, then issue it to your production floors. Then you start installing the terminals as per your wiring diagrams. And then, of course, you have to do quality inspection after the panel is assembled. And then finally, you're left over with some wasted terminal blocks lying down on the floor below, which usually, if not seen, are scrap, because choti cheezein kaun dhyan rakhta hai ye sab cheezon ka. But that's the traditional way of doing it. There is a smarter way of doing terminal assemblies also. And this is the value add service that we offer all our customers, is essentially create a drawing of the assembly. Now, all of you do create drawings as well, but we have a free software available on the Connectwell website. You can just download it and create terminal assemblies. Hit the RF2 button, we will receive the assembly with a clear bill of material, and we then can ship you a completely assembled terminal block rail assembly. So it's a DIN rail with some terminal blocks and a lot of blank space also left. And once you receive this assembled product, all you need to do is bring it into your system with 2 screws, install it on your cabinet. That's it. You don't need to manage, uska marking tag, uska chota jumper, the numerous end plates, partition plates, the accessories that you need to make a complete rail assembly. As a result, you have zero wastage of parts. Yeah. So quick installation, quality control done, and zero wastage. So that's the level of value add that you can expect from Connectwell. Of course, this is just to tell you how we do it. So essentially, this is the software that is available online. You just download it and then you create on a canvas. Am I audible? Dheeraj, am I audible?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Go ahead.
Sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
The screen is frozen.
Okay. Is it visible now?
The screen is frozen.
No, it's okay, sir. Now maybe
It's okay. It's moving, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, it's moving.
It's moving.
So must be your connection if you're experiencing lag. But essentially, we are also listed on ePlan. We are a standard library part. So anybody using ePlan, you will find Connectwell parts in the standard library as well. Essentially, what you do with this is create a drawing with a complete bill of material, send it to us, and we send you a complete assembly, which looks something like this. And then you just install this assembly in your junction boxes, in your cabinets, and save on stocking of parts. Yes, it involves a little bit of planning, but if done properly, you get a completely assembled, inspected part for your cabinets. Yeah. Moving on, this was about the domestic area. As mentioned earlier, we do export. We do export quite a bit. We nearly 35% of our revenue, of the company revenue, comes from the international markets. And how did we start here is a story that I leave to my father to explain later on. But essentially, we do have a small export team within the sales organization. And this export team now is responsible for generation of newer accounts, of new leads. And so we do participate in a lot of exhibitions. We conduct a lot of seminars outside of India also. Of course, these are all pre-COVID strategies. Post-COVID, we have to completely realign even our export strategy, because all of this doesn't work if you do not have airplanes flying in your skies. You do need to send people, you do need to travel, you do need to meet people. But now we are also trying to figure out what is the post-COVID strategy for selling in the international arena. So to sum up, we used to exhibit a lot. We also, our team did a lot of lead generation methods. So like Google is one of the best methods, cheapest also, is to run searches worldwide, focus on certain countries and then run a search, a Google search, and also look out for electrical utilities outside of India. We also try to understand if any particular country has a specific utility that is dictating the specification for that particular country. So we need to have the relevant approvals as well. Once you have made a contact with a potential buyer, then you start the regular sales process. Yeah, start with your simple email introduction. By the way, and this is true pre-COVID and post-COVID also, your website needs to be absolutely top class. Yeah. Unfortunately, the Connectwell website is not top class today. We are further refining it. We are making it look nicer. In the international arena, you are up against some of the best companies in the world. Yeah. So when we go in the international arena, we are typically competing with German players, large German multinationals who are much older companies than us. And to compete with them, you not only have to assure customers that you have a good product, but your presence also should look of a certain international standard. And the one thing that the customer sees every time is, or the first thing he sees is your website. I cannot emphasize enough on how important it is to have a good presentable website if you are serious about going in the international arena. Of course, once we make those with current modern day technology, Skype, yeah, WhatsApp calls also now, you can communicate with customers overseas. We do send a lot of samples because seeing is believing, holding a part in your hand. I know it is not possible to send a control cabinet, but essentially for us, it has worked that we have been able to send them parts to say that, look, we are of a certain quality standard. And then once a relationship is developed, a very faint relationship, meeting people was one of the most important things. Yeah, we do have a sales team dedicated for the export area. And again, this was a pre-COVID strategy. Unfortunately, all our export sales guys are sitting in their homes trying to do with what they best can do, but it's tough. Meeting, greeting, shaking hands, these were more or less normal sales methodologies, which works here in India, which also works in the international market. People always love to interact, shake hands, and believe that you are a good supplier. Yeah. And finally, giving them technical solutions. So this is how we were converting these prospective customers. Once you did get a customer, yeah, he placed your order, it is very important also to engage these customers, especially in the international markets. In the domestic area, it is very easy to catch a flight from Mumbai to Bangalore and come and meet Ramani sir, for example. Yeah, export, it is very expensive to do international flights. It's very expensive to stay in hotels, transportation. Not every place in the world has good public transport, so on and so forth. So it is also important that if you got a customer, to engage this customer in a meaningful manner, which means all the new products that we launch, keep them updated about it, keep them updated about the product approvals. We have content that we generate on LinkedIn, on Facebook, and also we have weekly flyers now. Keep sending them these flyers so that you are in front of the customer, you are visible to them. And of course, if there are issues, and issues happen, it's an engineered product, whether you use it in Chennai or you use it in New York, yeah, issues will happen. You need to have a team that will back you when you have these problems. That is very important, especially in the international market. It is very important that if you have product issues, you need qualified people to answer to those product to quality topics, because it is very difficult to provide support across borders. And of course, also we schedule webinars, and this is one of the new things that we are doing in the post-COVID world, that we remain engaged with our customers. So this is just a very brief snapshot on how we address the international markets. We are also growing. We are also redefining our strategy now that you have no planes flying. How do you reach your international clients or prospective customers. In fact, it has become very difficult to reach even a customer in Pune. Forget crossing the border. So one very important aspect in the international markets is product quality certifications. You need to have independent third-party certification of some manner. In the terminal block world, you need to have these product approvals. So if you want to sell in North America, you need to have the UL mark. Without the UL mark, don't even try selling in that market. That's your market entry barrier. One of the market entry barriers is the product certification. Without the UL mark, not one single North American customer will even allow you to send a catalog. Yeah, that's the first question which needs to be answered. Same is if you're trying to sell in Europe, you need to have independent third-party certification. Sometimes if you are addressing industry segments, so for example, explosion-proof areas, explosion-proof junction box manufacturers, you need to have specific RTEX, ICEX, in Metro for Brazil approvals. Only then you can even approach these segments. If you want to approach the marine building, marine industry, shipbuilding, you need to have Lloyd's Register certification or Bureau Veritas type of certificates. We invest a lot in such kind of product certification. The Connectwell test lab is itself a UL accredited test lab, which means we do not send now our products to the UL lab. The UL engineers, again pre-COVID, would visit our labs and do a witness test program. So we qualified our lab as per NABL norms. The lab is qualified and is used by UL to do the product certification. So it's very important to back your product, especially in the international market. Just your word alone will not mean a whole lot. You need to have some backing, along with having a beautiful website, good catalog, all the very basics of marketing and sales. Yeah, you need to have independent third-party approvals. It adds a lot of value. At least it has added a lot of value to us. This is the last slide for the presentation. Yeah, so where we are today, we have more than 20,000 product variants. Yeah, it's a huge catalog that we sell, catalog of parts that we sell, we try to sell. We have our own design and development capability for wire connection automation products. We have our state-of-the-art manufacturing setup. We have a dedicated sales and marketing team to reach customers. It's very important that we are in front of you. Again, pre-COVID. I keep emphasizing pre-COVID because the slides are old. The concepts are still valid. You need to build that trust with customers, but now we can't shake hands even. Yeah, we'll go back to our traditional namaste. It works also. But finally is our commitment to back our brand. The brand Connectwell means something. Any product sold by Connectwell or carrying the Connectwell brand or mark is of a certain value, is of a certain quality standard. So that is something that we are proud of. And of course, what is not written here is people. I will leave that to my dad, who's built this organization, as to how he did it also. But people is essentially the only big asset we have. That team that we have that has enabled us to do a lot of these things, be in front of you, run automated warehouses, give good quality. All of that is possible only if you have a good team backing you. So these were elements of strategies, of things that we do inside Connectwell, which has enabled for us to do these things and to come in front of you and to give you these parts. It doesn't mean that this is the only way or the best way. It is just we shared what worked for us. We shared with all of you. With that, thank you very much. Anand Saab, if you want to take on to the next segment, please carry on forward.
Hello.
Sandeep ji, just sit that hosting part to me.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, just one moment.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, this is Anand here again. Before proceeding to our next program, I would like to announce one small thing. We have started technical seminars also, and in this first seminar, we are going out with Tata Steel. Tata Steel is having a seminar on 24th of June. All detailed agenda you will get, and the brief thing I'll just let you know in 2 seconds. It will be a presentation of Tata Steel products and innovative technology or futuristic technology of coating for control panel sheets they are introducing. So this is very much day-to-day matter for us. And again, the main thing is how to motivate and retain skilled manpower in our small and medium scale industry, followed by question and answers. It is a very important technical first session. It will be started with Tata Steel. It will be on 24th. I'll give all detailed agenda afterwards. Now I'll come back to Mr. Sriram, and it's a very, very, very important session now. I request Mr. Sriram to have a great interview of Mr. Vijay Saheta about all his career history. Please go to Sriram.
Thank you. Thank you, Sandeep sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ishwar sir. Actually, I should say sorry to Ishwar sir because I couldn't introduce you in details. So I'm sorry for that. Okay.
It's okay.
So I will move to Vijay sir. So Vijay sir, are you audible?
Yes.
Yeah.
Am I audible?
Yes, very much, sir.
Yes, sir.
So,
Can we stop the screen share, please?
Oh, okay. Just 1 second.
So Vijay sir, we had seen fantastic, I don't have a word, sir, a fantastic setup by you and Sandeep sir. But इसकी शुरुआत कहाँ से हो गई थी? जब भी आपने चालू किया था तभी आपने सोचा था कि हमको ये करना है और आप वहाँ पहुँच गए. और how मतलब इसकी शुरुआत कैसे हो गई? Everyone would love to hear from you.
Well, शुरुआत तो शुरुआत से ही हो गई. So it all started in the beginning, of course. I mean, I'm very happy to share with you, after doing my engineering, the first opportunity that I got was a job in a non-ferrous rolling mill of a mid-size. So where I spent my first 5.5 years of my experience comes from there. I learned a lot there. During that time, I mean, at the fag end of 5.5 years, like almost around 5 years, the works manager of the company, he left the job and started his business. So I kept friendly relations with him. In those days, we used to have Tuesdays as tethering off for Sakinaka and Powai area. So on Tuesdays, I used to go to him, and finally I took a plunge and joined him in his business of techno cells, which means we used to sell non-ferrous materials with the consultancy. For example, like you needed certain part to be made out of some component, we would tell you how to do it. And well, this was a fantastic business I got into at my young age, and which was around 1977, 76, 77. And during that time itself, my fiancée, my present wife, she also has an engineering background. She is an electrical engineer, so I thought I could do something for her. So this whole idea of going into electrical business was only for her. So that is when my roommates from college, 4 of us, we met and we decided to form a company, and that is Connectwell. And the credit goes to my ex-partner, Mr. Manglani. Maybe some of you from electrical industry may recognize him. So this Mr. Manglani had this idea of making this connectors or the terminal blocks. And we all, 4 of us, we decided that Manglani will lead the start of this Connectwell business. And my wife subsequently would join him after the company establishes it. And me and my present partner, Mr. Gurnani, Mohan Gurnani, would never get into this business, never, because we had our own business. But the destiny had some different plans. We rented a shed, we bought machines, we engaged 2 workers, and some Rahu Ketu came in. Our friend Manglani comes in and he says he cannot start the company, he cannot be a full-time starter. Well, that was a great shock. And during that time, I had change from business again back to job because of my non-compatibility of, like say, generation gap with my ex-partner. So, well, when Manglani said that he cannot run this, it was straight a closure before the company could start after having invested into machine, renting a place and engaging 2 workers. And this for me was quite insulting. I felt that I have already failed in one venture, which is business of trade. And then again, this second failure is looming over me. I said, okay, I'm on a job which is in shifts. So I have some vacant slots in the day. I would like to look at this operation in my free shifts, and then we'll take a call to close it or what. Well, I'm very happy to look back and see that in 5.5 months, first stint was 5.5 years, in 5.5 months of Indian smelting job, I took a decision to give up my job and start and get into this business of Connectwell with no real electrical knowledge, but just only a crazy drive to make something. And now rest is the history.
Great. Great, sir, great. सर आपने जो एक्सपोर्ट चालू किया वो टेंटेटिव कभी से चालू किया और उसके बाद में 60 कंट्रीज तक एक्सपोर्ट कैसे ले लिया उसको और एक्सपोर्ट करने का मतलब बेसिक आइडिया कहाँ से आ गया एंड हाउ इट स्टार्टेड एक्चुअली?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I would credit export as the main reason for our, how do you say, growth. Growth not only in the volumes, but in quality and our success. Like after starting in 1978, by around 1985-86, we made our presence in almost every switchgear company, right from ABB, Siemens, L&T, Crompton Greaves, in those days English Electric and General Electric, IL Kota, BHELs, everywhere. And we were successful in those companies, and that is when God-sent opportunity came up from International Division of Crompton Greaves. This International Division of Crompton Greaves also had a department for exporting non-Crompton Greaves products. They used to call it NCG, non-Crompton Greaves products. So I was approached by Crompton Greaves and I willingly just jumped into it because that was for me to establish that I am definitely capable of doing something to satisfy international levels of quality. So we were lucky to get in 1986 our first order of princely 23,000 rupees only. And this consignment was supposed to be of terminal blocks in melamine, which don't exist now in international market.
Right.
So, yes, sir. So, I was so thrilled, I caught hold of all my staff and workers, and I literally मैंने कहा साले तुम लोग हरामखोर लोग अगर इसमें कुछ किया, in fact I use the worst language, I don't want to say that, if अगर तुम लोगों ने कुछ किया खराब, so failure will be not of product, it will be said this bloody Indian product. And this bloody Indian product, I was not ready to listen to this गाली to my country. साला fail मेरी product हो गए और गाली मिले मेरे country को. This I was not prepared. So I put all my efforts to make sure that this 23,000 rupees consignment goes all without problems. And believe me, we were successful in delivering this consignment in time, and as a reward, the customer in New Zealand sent a letter of appreciation to Crompton Greaves that this was the first time they received a product from India in best packaged manner. And this was a big achievement. And with exposure to that kind of manufacturing, I realized, अगर हम international customer के लिए ऐसी care ले सकते हैं, then what is wrong with my Indian customers? Why shouldn't I look forward to, putting in all our efforts for my customers here? So from that moment onwards, our goal and aim became customer delight. Whatever we do, we'll do for customer delight. And gradually and slowly, we started getting export orders from UAE. And it was 92 when the big bang thing happened. We did UL approval and everything. So this was where we started the export. And in my opinion, to qualify for international markets, it was mandatory that we must have these international approvals. Otherwise, there is no chance of even carrying a catalog to any customer. So this is my firm belief. And then from that day onwards, we started growing and growing and growing.
Thank you, sir. Your products are not made only Indian, but अपना country को भी आपने pride करके दिया है पूरा world में. Thanks for that. So to create similar history and give an impact on the industry, what are the qualities required in the entrepreneurs?
I'm sorry, I'm not able to hear you.
Sir, to make such an impact on the industry,
yes,
what are the qualities required in the entrepreneur?
Well,
as per
yeah, I'm not an expert in coaching or making statements, but I can definitely talk for myself.
Right.
The only thing that has worked with me, I would like to share. I keep competing with myself. For example, if this is month of June, in July, I want to make sure that have I done something better than what I did in June. And what I have kept, how do you say, a very open mind. Honestly, after 40 years also, I keep learning. I mean, this is honest to God, I'm saying, like, for example, this presentation that was made by Sandeep and Ishwar, yesterday when I went through this, I thought, well, I couldn't have been able to do this. So there was a moment of learning for me from this. So what I understand is this very urge of bettering yourself. And second other thing important was, I took no hesitation in denouncing my product if it lacked in any way quality. So which means right from beginning, I started doing benchmarking, getting hold of competitors' products and finding faults in my products and working over that. Otherwise, imagine, I mean, with no electrical background, no mechanical engineering background, no tooling background, just with the metallurgical knowledge, it was not possible. And third most important thing was, keep asking questions when you don't know. There are very good people around who will definitely answer you. There will be definite answers and people will guide you. So perseverance is another thing. Self-bettering is another thing. Benchmarking is third thing. And other thing is, please sleep only after you have fulfilled the demands of the day.
Thank you, sir. Vijay sir, हम आपसे भी बहुत सीख रहे हैं और मुझे पूरी उम्मीद है कि आज का जो आपका वेबिनार हुआ है हमारा, कॉस्मा फ्रेंड बहुत कुछ सीखे हैं आज से और अब से हमेशा सीखते रहेंगे. Now I will just last question. It's a personal. विजय सहाता सर को other than Connectwell, उनके हॉबीज क्या है और वो जिंदगी को कैसे देखते हैं?
मुश्किल ऐसी हो गई है कि घर में भी कनेक्टवेल बन गए. तो कनेक्टवेल के सिवा मेरी दुनिया ही नहीं है, ऐसे लगता है कभी कभी. बट यस, छोटा मोटा एक यस, आई डू हैव अ डाइवर्शन. I am, how do I say, I can't call myself avid, but yes, I read quite a bit. I mean, like, I find lot of things, lot of awareness, lot of knowledge coming to you when you read. And while reading, I mean, this has been my habit. I would go back to my first year science days. which was precisely in 1965-66. In those days, I used to read Reader's Digest, and from that, I graduated into books and this. So the latest book, one I am reading now currently, is Technology Trap, Carl Benedict Frey. So here is the thing, like in history also, technology has always evolved. It has always made something redundant. It has to keep going on. Other nice book that recently I read was Checklist Manifesto, Dr. Gawande, Atul Gawande. It's a beautiful book. Like you make a checklist of your things and so this kind of a reading, or even a very nice book of Gurcharan Das, Difficulty of Being Good, which is, I really feel always difficult how to be good. It's always a challenge. It's always a challenge. And besides reading, yes, छोटा मोटा मैं कुछ engagement करता हूँ. So I do get engaged with an institute called Astitva in Dombivli, which is for physically challenged children school. I don't do a great thing. So like that, there is another institute in Dombivli, Bharari, which is a home for elderly disabled people. And third is one Aadhar Institute, which is based out of Badlapur and Nasik. They handle a school of especially mental people. So I have some kind of a thing that for less privileged people, we must look at that. We all must look at that, less privileged people. We are too privileged. Today, we all are happily conducting this webinar in our comfort of our homes, in the comfort of our backup of our industries and everything, family. There are so many people who need our, sometimes, at least good words, if not assistance. That's what I enjoy.
Thank you, sir. There are many questions in my mind, but the time is again a crucial one. So I think we open to all members. We will have a question and answer section soon. So over to Vishal. Vishal? The questions are there in the chat room. Will you please check it out?
Yes, there are. And if you allow me, so one question from Bharat Fabricators. How is the distributor of Connectwell in Kerala? Dheeraj, we do have, there is one company that I do know of in Cochin, P.O. Abraham and Sons, but we can send you a list of the existing distributors we have in Kerala.
We have, apart from P.O. Abraham, we have one Global Associates. We have two people in Cochin.
Okay.
So, Anand, Vishal, any other questions from our members? Anyone has raised hand?
We have one from Mr. Anand only. What is the NPD capabilities and phase gate process? It's okay. So new product development. And Ishwar, you'll have to back me a little bit over here. I hope you're still here in this webinar. NPD, when we conceptualize a product, any sort of a new product, a new terminal block, a new how about an interfacing product or a power supply, there is a certain design methodology that we follow. The phase gate process that Ishwar mentioned is nothing but when you start a process, you come to a gate point, and at that gate point you have a checklist in front of you. With that checklist, you ask your questions. Yeah. So in our case, for example, if a designer has made a terminal block and he finishes one stage, then he has to stop and not step into the second phase till he answers all the checklist questions. It's a dynamic sheet. It is never static. The checklist keeps on enhancing with time. Yeah. So when we would have started on day one, there would have been, say, 10 checklist points. Yeah. Did you check the voltage rating, the creepage clearance distance, the current carrying capability, the material used. With time, this checklist has expanded. We now have, for a terminal block, if I'm not mistaken, around some close to 180 checklist questions which come in at various phases of a terminal block process. And at every stage, the designer has to stop, has to answer the checklist, basically, even if it is a simple, yes, I did this, yes, I did this, and then get on to the next phase of the design process. And like this, this is the gate process. So he passed through gate 1, gate 2, gate 3, gate 4, and eventually, after having done all the simulations, the finite mode element analysis, the simulations, he will reach a stage where he can say that my design is now complete. So we do use a PLM system, a product lifecycle management software. It's a Siemens product where we have built in this checklist process within the PLM system itself. So it is not just a guy writing an email that I have done this check. He has to physically, he's designing within the PLM software, and over there inside itself, he has to go through the gate process. I hope I have answered this question, Anand sir. You are muted.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is perfectly been answered, because it is a very critical question. Actually, it was a critical question for the innovators who make the new products. So thank you for that perfect answer. So over to again Sriram. If there is anybody, any question is there, please over to Sriram and Vishal.
Mr. Sanjeev Loda from Rajasthan asked how much export and what is the percentage and what is the turnover of Connectwell domestic and export? I think you have told is 35% is export. Will you please elaborate?
Yeah. So as a group company, we are a 175 crore company. Our export last year alone, the revenue generated from the export market was close to 48 crores.
Okay.
Mr. Satish sir. Satish sir would like to ask.
Yes,
this question for Sandeep. Sandeep, how many people, staff and workmen combined, do you employ for 1 crore of investment in fixed assets? I presume you are an MSME company, and we are collecting statistics for MSME companies. How many people do MSME companies employ for 1 crore of fixed assets investment?
I can tell you, so we've been dealing with this question of late also, whether we qualify as an MSME or not. Even though turnover wise, we do qualify as an MSME, but the capital deployed with Connectwell is at such a large value that we actually get disqualified. I'll tell you a few numbers. Yeah, so we do have on our payroll we have 200 Ishwar, correct me if I'm wrong. On our payroll we are still at around 250, 260.
Yes,
Ishwar?
yes, Sandeep. Yeah.
Around 250, 260 people. As an organization, we are at a 785 employee company. So we run contracts, okay, with various agencies. So there are 785 people working in Connectwell, but officially on our payroll it is 250 people. The capital deployed, I don't have that number here right now with me, but it is a fairly high number. It is more than 50 crores at the moment, because that is the restriction you have on them.
75 crores.
75 ke aaspaas hai, yeah.
75 crores.
75 crores. So if you do the math, it is 250 employees to 75 crores of capital deployed.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Nitin would like to ask.
Sandeep sir, there is a
Mr. Nitin
Rastogi sir.
Boliye na sir.
Hi Sandeep, I just want to understand, is your entire product range is UL for North America, and maybe what are the other challenges apart from UL you have in North America, specifically with the US and Canada?
Okay, so two questions are there in your question. First of all, at least, and again, I can speak only for the terminal block product line. For terminal blocks, US will follow one standard. Canada will insist on a CSA mark. Okay, you can get away with CUL US, but so the question, if I understood right, is there any other challenge for a component? For sure, you need to have UL approval. That's your challenge number one. There is no second thing to it. The UL mark will, if you have the CUL US mark, you can possibly sell in Canada also. but a lot of Canadian companies will insist on a CSA mark. So, but then if you look at the industry segment, Canada is basically 1/10 of the US GDP. So if you are trying to sell in the North American market, US should be your better bet. It should be the focus country. The second big topic, and again, it is how terminal blocks are sold. Terminal blocks need channel partners, need distributors. It's a low ticket item, and hence a low ticket item means somebody should stock it for you. The biggest challenge we have with terminal blocks is and with selling into North America is the logistics. It is very far away. Yeah, selling to Middle East is much easier than selling to North America. North America, the transit time on ocean liner itself is a month. So you have to factor in that part. So the challenge of time, the challenge of having local inventory. People in the US, at least again in the component business, are used to clicking a button and miraculously the part arriving the very next day wherever in the US. So which means if you're in California, you can order parts before 4 p.m. Eastern time and get products the next day before 10 a.m. by UPS Express. This is the level of customer service expectation that North American customers typically have. They want quick answers, they want quick delivery. The only way to overcome this challenge is to have local stock. We do not have a subsidiary company in the US at the moment, but we do have a very strong partner in the US who stocks close to, if I'm not mistaken, the stocking level that they have is close to, at any given point of time, 600. So around 5 crores ka to stock rakhte hain of just terminal blocks. So that any moment, any person across continental US can order parts, and the expectation would be that the next day before 10 a.m. And it is very important. यहाँ पे time हम थोड़ा flexible होता है इंडिया में, उधर time flexible नहीं होता है. 5 बजे कंपनी बंद होती है, 4 बजे UPS वाला आता है, और उसके पहले जो भी करना आप डॉक पे रेडी करके रख दो. 4 बजे UPS वाला आएगा, ट्रक लोड करेगा और चले जाएगा. उसके बाद आप सर के बल खड़े हो जाओ, आप पार्ट कंपनी से बाहर नहीं निकाल पाओगे. And the same is the expectation of the customer. अगर UPS या FedEx बोलता है कि मैं 10 o'clock delivery guarantee करता हूँ, तो before 10 a.m. you will get that part. Come rain, shine, snow, whatever. Part आपके पास आएगा आपके टेबल पे. So the service level expectation in US is pretty high. We as Indian companies are not used to seeing this. हमारे यहाँ पे सब, and I have customers here on this webinar. You are actually very good. Sometimes you understand challenges much better. You have that human touch is there. वहाँ पे कोई नहीं समझता है. वहाँ पे either you give me or you don't give me. If you don't give me, don't talk to me the next time. Very cutthroat, very dry, but that's the challenge. And then you have to meet this challenge. So yes, having UL approval, step 1, promising one thing, step 2, but then delivering on your promise, be it service or quality, is of up, because you won't get a second chance. Second chance milna bahut difficult hai. So hence these are some of the challenges that we have, which are unique to North America.
Next is Mr. Sanjeev Lodha ji.
Sandeep,
yeah,
thanks for detail.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome, sir.
Sanjeev Lodha ji.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I can read the question. So 75 crore capital investment, what max turnover you can achieve assuming best of market conditions for you? It's an interesting question. We use it in terms of the overall plant efficiency and plant occupancy time. So Ishwar, can I talk on your behalf on this one? Let us assume if we do 175 crores, we can easily achieve double the turnover with the current installed capacity. It will facilitate that. Please keep in mind the equipment we have, we can always run in shifts. We do run shifts in certain cases. So the capital does not need, doubling to achieve double sales turnover. Yeah. So with 75 crores of capital deployed, we can easily do double the turnover. And it is only because the quality of equipment is pretty high. The automated warehouse, for example, we can handle 600 bins per hour. At the moment, Ishwar, correct me if I'm going wrong, around 75 to 100 bins per hour karte hain hum log. Yeah, so that's the level we have reached. Yeah, Ishwar.
Yeah, like Sandeep, in our like automated warehouse, we can in and out put together. We can handle 600 bins hour.
Yeah. So again, Sanjeev ji, the question also is, we will need a few more people on board, but not doubling of manpower either. Then that is the big advantage of automation. If we are automated, the same, the warehouse, for example, we switch off the lights and we run the warehouse. We don't even have lights running inside the warehouse, inside the actual warehouse. You don't need it. It just runs. Yeah. So I hope I have answered your question. Yeah.
Right. I think, sir, I have got this. I think there is no further questions. I have got two questions for you, Sandeep sir.
Okay.
First thing, you have shown the complete assembly line of the connector. So I would like to know what are the tests or are carried out by the machine itself when the final product is taken out. That was the one thing. And when you have got so much beautiful tool room and all the big machines are there, so what are your future products which we can expect from Connect?
Okay.
I think
so answer to your first question, what all tests are carried out on the machine itself? Because the machine does detect the quality of parts. So for example, a very simple thing, slots on screw heads. Yeah. Believe me, manual assembly में अगर operator को वो 2 लाख पीस कर रहा है ना, वो घुसा देता है. बिना slot के screw भी घुस जाते हैं parts के अंदर. The vision detection system, the presence absence system on the machine checks for that. The presence and absence of parts is checked, and most critical is the torque measurement system of the machine itself. It is integrated into the electric screwdrivers that are deployed on the machine. So every time, so by the way, every screw is engaged and disengaged on the connector. So जब भी वो engage या disengage कर रहा है, it is constantly measuring the torque value. Any deviation from the standard parameter, either too loose or too tight, is checked, and it usually leads to a product defect. That's your detection point for the products. So all of these mechanical parameters, the torque values, are inspected on the line itself, and then the product is given out, and then there is a separate rejection bin on the parts identified as rejected. That is number one. The second question you asked is, what is the expectation in terms of products? We have been making terminal blocks for more than 4 decades. Believe me, there are a whole lot of other terminal blocks that we have not made. Yeah, there are some very unique applications that need special connection systems. So effort on making new products will be on, but within the terminal block category. Within the terminal block category, we have recently relaunched our push-in technology terminal blocks. So again, these are terminal blocks where you don't have even any more screws. Yeah, हमने इतना screw पे highlight किया, but believe me, the way technology is progressing, we don't have the need for screws in connectors anymore. These are with push-in technology systems. All you need is a wire with a crimped ferrule. You just take the wire and you plug it in to the product. Connection is done. You don't even need a screwdriver. And this is a huge technological shift. To mass manufacture this, and again with the same quality expectation, is a challenge. To introduce all different types of products with push-in technology is in itself a big challenge. So for this 1 year, 2020, 2021, you will see a lot many new push-in technology enabled terminal blocks from Connectwell. You will see very soon, probably 2021, 22, a line of relays, not the relay itself, but the relay socket with a functional relay on top from Connectwell. You will also see some electronic modules coming in from the Connectwell brand. Yeah, so these are our roadmap. This is our roadmap for the coming midterm, I would say, not the long term. But bread and butter terminal block है वो जारी रहेगा.
Right. So we have got 2 questions in the chat room. Will you, in short, can you answers to that?
From one first from Mr. Babu like to Sandeep ji. Second is from Tarun ji to Vijay sir.
Okay, so I'll answer
Mr. Babu's final 2 questions, and we will close the today's section.
Okay, I will answer Mr. Babu's question. Why don't we get into PCB barrier terminal block? The only thing common between PCB terminal blocks and DIN rail terminal blocks is the word terminal block. But believe me, the PCB terminal block product line, you need experience and you need specialization in that. We are not designed, our organization is not designed to answer the expectation of PCB terminal blocks, of what people traditionally expect from PCB terminal blocks. It needs a whole different thing. Yes, there are screws, there are clamps, there is a plastic body, but it is not like a DIN rail terminal block. There is a huge, and you are right, the major players in the PCB terminal block market are Chinese players. There are some good German companies also there, but this market is dominated by the Chinese in this area. Also, the customer base that you typically have, we are more aligned to all of you, switchgear companies, panel builders, automation companies, for your larger level connector needs. But when it comes to small PCB terminal blocks, you need to be a different company. We are not that company at the moment. Yeah. Yes, we have resources at our disposal, but we only have finite resources, and we need to make best use of these resources so that we bring in some qualified products. So unfortunately, we tried making PCB terminal blocks nearly 15-20 years ago. We realized that the scale requirements for PCB terminal blocks, you have to be a different company. It's not everybody's cup of tea. Definitely not for us, unfortunately. And I get it. We want to be a local manufacturer. We will try to do that, but at the moment, that's not the thing that we should be getting into. So I hope, Babu sir, I've answered your question. I know it's a negative answer.
Yeah. Yes, you answered. Thank you, Sandeep.
Thank you. Dad, next question is for you. How do you see the market after the pandemic?
Can I have the?
Yeah, you are audible. Yeah, Vijay sir, go ahead.
I think his screen is frozen.
Yeah, there's problem. Sandeep sir, by that you can answer the question also.
Sure.
Unless Vijay sir is audible.
Hello.
That
yes.
Okay, nice. I think it's
hello.
Yeah, Vijay sir.
Yeah.
I think some network problem is occurred at this point.
Yeah, he's.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
question.
Now you are.
Yeah, sir is back. Yeah.
The question is, how do you see the market after the pandemic, and what should be your business strategy?
Well, after COVID or before COVID?
After.
I mean, I particularly would brand myself as a very, hello?
Yeah.
I personally would brand myself as a very optimistic person. The COVID will definitely affect.
I think network problem is there.
Sorry about
no problem. Sandeep, you can go ahead. I think
some network issues.
If you allow me to talk on my father's behalf,
yeah, sure. Go ahead.
It's just honestly, it's a very difficult thing to handle. Yeah. So what we will do is, we are evaluating our current pre-COVID strategies. It does not work in the post-COVID world, especially in the sales and marketing area. It definitely does not work. Yeah. So,
which means this also will pass.
Yes, sir.
Sandeep, can you answer?
Yes, I will do that. I will do that. Okay. So essentially, we all need to change our strategy. That is for sure. Be it any part of your organization, what we have already done inside Connectwell is relooked at our spends. Our every strategy, including capex, has been relooked. We are redefining our spends, but the biggest challenge we have is connecting with customers. That is one topic where we still don't have a very clear strategy. The only thing we are doing more is spending more on digital. Any time you want to get connected to your customer, digital medium is the only available medium, be it webinars, be it website, be it LinkedIn posts, be it Facebook posts, somehow to be present and be relevant in front of customers is a very important thing. So as a sales entity within the organization, that is the first thing we have changed, is increase our digital presence. As far as manufacturing and other lines go, again, automation is helping us a lot, and we will continue investments in the automation area, because handling people, safe distancing, all of those are challenge topics. And but to be very honest, we are evolving also. So there are some strategies which have been implemented, but it's still a work in progress. Every day there is a new thing.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Sandeep, sir.
Yeah. Am I audible now?
Yes, Papa, you
yes,
are.
Sir.
Okay. This part of the answer that I perhaps did not give. The world is not going to stop. After a break, again, it's going to be the same game. We have to sustain this. We have to overcome this. I don't see any stoppage after COVID. Things will be different. We'll have to modify. We'll have to adapt certain things. We are already doing these webinars and so many things. So definitely, I don't see any black side of the business. There will be definitely come back to normalcy.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. And
now,
similar, your dialogue with Connectwell will never stop. It is in continuous process, and support from Connectwell to Cosmo is also never stop. But the program needs to be stopped here. So I hand over further to Mr. Virendra Singh from Assam, who will conclude and give a vote of thanks. So over to Virendra Singh, sir.
Mr. Virendra ji, just unmute yourself.
Virendra ji, please unmute. And one more thing, Vishal, please click the smiling faces before the program ends.
Yeah.
That is also one thing. Okay.
Hey,
audible? Virendra
ji, just a moment. I'll just click a smiling photo of everyone before we conclude.
Okay, sure.
Because, I know your speech will start with the environment disaster. Yeah, thank you everyone, and
thank you,
Mr. Virendra ji. Yeah.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon, sir.
And Cosma meeting, and to meet people from all over India, sitting in the remote corner of Northeast. It's really great. So I think you are aware that most people are aware what has happened nearby. Actually, just about 15 kilometers from our home, there was a gas leak on 27th of May, and it was a huge leak. Actually, around 4,000 pounds per square inch pressure of gas. And then ultimately on a hot day, about 5 days back, it was a very hot day. And prior to that, it was like raining. So there was a lot of equipment there to try and to stop the gas leak. So one of the equipment the reason is not known, but it is expected, or it is like they are studying it, that some spark took place and then it led to the fire. But you see, what happened was, within this 15 days gap, during the 15 days gap, see, with the gas there is something called condensate, which is actually even more flammable than crude oil, because condensate has got a lot of chemicals which are highly inflammable, and that had started spreading around in the area and creating a layer on the soil. And so when the fire was ignited got ignited in the gas, so immediately those areas also lighted up, and a huge fire was there. And then it destroyed a lot of standing crop, it destroyed a lot of houses, and around 1,600 families had already been evacuated from there. So fortunately, there was no human tragedy. But two firemen, once the fire started, in panic, they jumped into a nearby river, and they didn't know swimming, so they drowned. and their body was found the next day. So that was the sad part. And then, of course, they have engaged 3 experts from Singapore who have come on a chartered flight hired by Oil India. And these guys are, as they are called, they are vultures. Actually, they are looking for such opportunities, and then, you know, they go for the kill. So one of the gentlemen who has come, he has got 40 years experience of capping gas fires and oil fires. So yesterday, actually, I was in a meeting with some known friends where I was with the MD of Assam Gas Company also. So what they were telling that they were having a meeting with this person. He said that, see, this is nothing very big or anything. Issues are being made, but I have seen the area, and the cementing part has been done excellently well. The workmanship is good. The person who has done the cementing, the pipeline work, it's of high standard as per him. This guy is an American. He would not be speaking good words if it is not, you know, worth it. And he says he has seen worse installations, and he has, you know, he has fought fires and capped wells, which is where it is more serious also. So in fact, he gave one example that in 1991 there was Kuwait war, and at that time 150 wells were lighted by Iraq. They dropped bombs on on approximately 150 wells, and all those wells were capped within a period of 6 months. And in recently one coordination meeting, the industries minister was continuously asking this American fellow, okay, how much time are you going to how much time are you going to take? How much time are you going to? So these guys work in a professional manner. So what he said, it will take 27 days to prepare and 1 day to cap the well. So he was very specific. He says that, see, preparation takes time, but capping is a matter of just 1 day. So then again, the minister was not happy with this answer. He wants that tomorrow itself we should cap it, but things don't happen that way. There is a here what strategy they are going to adopt. What I understand is a 40-ton weight is being made ready. Like if you consider a pressure cooker and you have a weight on top, and that weight just stops the steam to come out, and once the pressure is developed, it sounds like a whistle. So something like that. Actually, the pressure is huge, and sorry.
So we are moving short of time. So
Okay, I'll just conclude. So basically, that 40-ton weight will be lowered onto the pipe, and that's how the gas is going to be stopped. But that preparation is going to take. Okay, so now that was about the tragedy which happened here, and of course, there is a lot of effect on the environment. You can read up. So first of all, I start with thanking Mr. Sandeep and Mr. Ishwar for a very wonderful presentation and insight into Connectwell's present working methods. And it's a good learning for us as to how we can venture into exports, because this is something many people don't know, how to go for exports and all. So very key learning from him is that certifications is a must. Quality, of course, nothing to say about that. You have to have quality. And then timely delivery, like he very clearly mentioned that in India, if Connectwell delays, then we says, okay, please send it tomorrow, please send it tomorrow. But there is no tomorrow. If you're going to do it on time, you do it. Otherwise, you are nowhere. And thank you very much, Vijay sir. It's always great to hear a founder of a company, be it small or big. Founder's story is really, a lot of hard work and blood and toil gone into the company. And from 1978, in just about 42 years, the company has grown. I think I must congratulate him for the name selected. Connectwell is such a beautiful name for terminals. It speaks everything about what we do as panel builder. If we connect well, then our switchgear and our panels perform better. If we don't connect well, then the switchgear might become history very soon, because there will be burnouts. I feel termination and connection and Connectwell is very, very important in any switchgear. I think all my panel builder friends will agree with me. Thank you so much. We have 47 participants today. And another thing, I got one message from Satish Kaji sir to invite the members from Northeast. But actually that message came very late, and once I formed a group and I sent the message, actually it was past the meeting time, but let me make some more effort, and I think we can get some people next week in our next meeting if President and Secretary and Kazi sir will permit. So this from me, I'll sign off. Thank you so much.
Tata Steel program coming up, sir. So Virendra sir, our Tata Steel webinar is coming up. So for that you can invite sir. Okay.
But I think I will forward that group IDs to you. I think it will be nice if Cosma can also. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you all. Thank you.